Yo, what's going on to the hustlers out there? It's Thursday, so the fantasy week always halfway cooked, which means the edges are still out there. So tonight it's about quick hits, who's getting new minutes, who's heating up quietly, and who's a win your week type of streamer. No hype, no fluff, just smart pickups, and you already know you sleep, you beat. Let's get to it. First up, we're talking about people who can help you win the week. Like I say, it's Thursday, so the fantasy matchup almost over with. My first guy is Sam Merrill from the Cleveland Cavaliers. He 12% rostered. He averaging 14, averaging 26 fantasy points on the season, averaging 3 revs, 2 assists, but he make almost 4 threes a game, 24 minutes a game. He averaging 34 fantasy points over his last 3 games, so he really cooking right now. Next up is my dog from my Mavs, Naji Marshall. He 24% rostered. He averaging 13.6 points, 4.6 revs, 2.8 assists, and 1.1 steal. It's 29 minutes since January 6th, and he's averaging 36.75 fantasy points. He only scored below 20 fantasy points once in his last 5 games. So you already know that boy on a burner. Next up, I mentioned this guy before. I think he's a great ad. Huff from the Indiana Pacers. Defensive upside. Grab him before it's too late. He averaging 8 points a game, 3.7 revs, 1.3 assists, 2.2 blocks, though, in 20 minutes a game. He even had a 43 fantasy point outing in his last game. He averaging 10 points, almost 2 threes a game, and 2.1 stocks. That's steals and blocks over his last 7 days. As you know, fantasy ain't just about the players. It's about volume, games played, and points earned. Next up is my injury boost streamers. One guy, he's coming back from injury, but these guys wasn't on radars, but somebody in front of him went down, and, opportunity came up. Minute spike, usage bump, opportunity that came up, like I said, because the guy in front of them went down. First up is my dog. I streamed him early in the year. He helped me get a dub. Peyton Watson. He 3.5% rostered. As you know, Jokic and Valanciunas went down. They both projected to come back February 1st, and they've been running Aaron Gordon as a small ball 5 in these last couple games. So Watson is a beneficiary of extended minutes. He had a 45 fantasy point. He got a 45 fantasy point average in his last 5 games, and he really just going crazy. He actually may be a stream to stay candidate. Keep your eyes peeled on Peyton Watson. Next up, Herb Jones. Now, like I say, one of the guys was returning from injury. This is the guy that's returning from injury. He's projected to come back January 16th. He's a big pillar in what New Orleans trying to do. He averaged 22 fantasy points over the course of the season, but he averaged 29.5 fantasy points in his last 6 games before he got hurt. He getting major burn. He averaging 28 minutes a game over the course of the season, and he contributed in every category. This guy's worth an ad. As you know, opportunity is the #1 fantasy cheat code. So make sure y'all keep your eyes peeled on Peyton Watson and Herb Jones. For my people that's in category leagues, I ain't forgot about you. Make sure y'all look at streamers who's going to feel that specific need that you need to win a category. For the 3 specialists, you down in 3 points made and you need 6 to 9 made threes in a couple of days, grab AJ Green from the Milwaukee Bucks, 2.4% rostered, averaging 3 made threes a game over the season. He getting major burn at 30 minutes a game. Make sure y'all check him out if y'all need help in that threes category. In stock specialists, steals and blocks, they win matchups. They win matchups in real life. We already know that's very important, the defensive side of the ball. Goga Bitadze from the Orlando Magic, he 1.9% roster. And these all in ESPN leagues, all the roster percentages that I'm reading out to y'all. But over his last 7 days, he averaging 2 blocks and 2 steals. This guy stuffing the sheet, and he only gets 17 minutes a game. So that's tell you right there, he doing major work. For my assists, for the assist specialist, if you need somebody who can get you 6 to 7 assists per night without many turnovers, perfect glue pickup. Jamal Shead from the Toronto Raptors, 2.5% roster in ESPN leagues, 6.5 of assists over his last 7 days. He really shed a rock, and he averaging 5.5 assists over the season. So that's steady numbers. As you can see, that's who he is. Check him out if you need assist help in your category league. And rebound enforcers, crashes the glass, get them garbage points, nobody tracking. You know what I'm saying? This guy, I like him. He's been a staple in New York. Mitchell Robinson. He's 7% rostered. He averaging 9 reps a game and 19 minutes on the season. However, over his last 7 days, he averaging 12 reps. You know what I'm saying? 12 rebounds. He's doing crazy work on the glass in limited time. So if you need help in that category, look at Mitchell Robinson. And sometimes one category swing is the difference between playoffs and packing it on in. Next up is my stream to stay candidate. These are audition pickups. If they hit, they shouldn't leave your roster. And if they don't hit, you could drop them, try again, go find somebody else who can help you out. We're looking for role clarity, you know what I'm saying, coach trust, efficiency, per minute efficiency. That's the important thing. We just looking for a guy who can ball. And if he ball tonight, they playing Dallas. This guy's with Utah, they playing Dallas. He's not a streamer. He's a win streak. Brice Sensabaugh, 7% roster, 18.2 fantasy points over the season. However, this guy went crazy for 69 fantasy points last night. He's been playing 30 minutes a game since Christmas, so the minutes are there. The uptick is there. He's averaging 29.8 fantasy points in his last 5 games. If he can build consistent production, which it looked like he's doing already, he's a stream to stay candidate. Temporary moves can become permanent, permanent weapons if you time it right. The managers who playing Wednesdays and Thursdays win Saturdays and Sundays. Make sure y'all check back-to-back schedules, 3-game weekend stretches, low ownership teams with favorable matchups. Because you're not just grabbing players for one night. You're buying momentum and you're trying to get to the playoffs. And you already know we here to get dubs. We ain't here for nothing else. That was your midweek hustle, fast and intentional. Don't wait for Sunday to panic. Take the edge today. Build advantages now so nobody can up you later. And make sure y'all follow Hustle Sports Net on X and at the Hustle Sports Network on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, everywhere. And remember, you sleep, you beat. I'll holler at y'all.